Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles, and wow, POTUS has been busy on Twitter. So I wanted to give you just an overview of some of the things he said and some of the stuff that's been going on, and just a quickie here. Well, it probably won't end up being that quick, but I'm going to try to make it fairly quick. Anyway, first of all, POTUS has now posted something in Arabic. What does it say? Well, I'm pretty sure it is a translation of this. I don't speak Arabic, but I did put it through a translation program and it came out the same. So, National Security Advisor suggested today that sanctions and protests have Iran choked off will force them to negotiate. Actually, I could care less if they negotiate, will be totally up to them, but no nuclear weapons and don't kill your protesters. And then he goes on to the leaders of Iran, do not kill your protesters. Thousands have already been killed or imprisoned by you, and the world is watching. More importantly, the USA is watching. Turn your internet back on and let reporters roam free. Stop the killing of your great Iranian people. Okay, now I don't know if you know, but yeah, there have been Iranians killed by the police. I mean, the Iranian police. And it's like they were protesting and they just shot them. So it's a dangerous place for them. And many of the Iranian people are protesting because they are tired of this regime that they have. And then Trump said, Mini Mike Bloomberg is spending a lot of money on false advertising. I was the person who saved pre-existing conditions in your health care. You have it now, while at the same time winning the fight to rid you of the expensive, unfair, and very unpopular individual mandate. And then he goes on and says, and if Republicans win in court and take back the House of Representatives, your health care that I have now brought to the best place in many years will become the best ever by far. I will always protect your pre-existing conditions. The Democrats will not. And so then he goes on and he posts this. And this is a retweet of an Iranian guy. He says the Iranian people are being killed in the streets by the Islamic Republic, but Nancy Pelosi in the USA supports those who kill the Iranian people. Why? Isn't that interesting? And Trump's retweeting him. He wants to let people know that he stands with the Iranian people. While the Iranian people are being killed by the mullahs in the protests, you are lying to the American people. The real people of Iran don't want the Democrats-backed terrorists. Shame on you for playing with the blood of Iranian people. Stop. Yeah, look at this. And they're just standing there smiling. Oh. And they have this hashtag, Nancy Pelosi Fake News. And then he retweeted this. See, he's been retweeting several of them. Just for a second, assume there is no Dem nor Republican Party. Look at the reality. Iranians want mullahs gone. They've been massacred on November when main media were covering Trump impeachment. Be a human and stand for human rights. Yeah. And then this one, people just now realizing how crazy and destructive Nancy is to America. Better yet, the world. I pity those that support her. I'm telling you, and he was retweeting all of these. And then this one, Iranian people are angry about what Nancy Pelosi said recently in the interview with ABC. And if you haven't heard that, here's the link to it that you'll be able to take. So we've launched a hashtag against what she said. And there it is. She dismisses protests in Iran against regime. Different reasons why people are in the street. Yeah, no, it's not. They're protesting. And so Trump retweeted this, which has sent the media's head spinning. They were not happy with it at all. And this was from this particular guy. He says, the corrupted Dems trying their best to come to the Ayatollah's rescue. Now, I want to show you what he's posted. American lefties have stormed my direct messages with insults. Some accused me of being a Russian bot. In their eyes, anybody who disagrees with them is a Russian bot, even an Iranian who suffered 20 plus years of his life under the thugs of the Iranian regime. That's what that stands for. Okay, so this guy, because Donald Trump retweeted him and this photo, oh boy, did the lefties go after him. So sad. It's really sad. And then, of course, Trump got his digs in at Bernie and Pocahontas here. Bernie Sanders volunteers are trashing Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. Everybody knows her campaign is dead and want her potential voters. Mini Mike B is also trying, but getting tiny crowds, which are all leaving fast. Elizabeth is very angry at Bernie. Do I see a feud brewing? I love our POTUS. The Democrats and fake news are trying to make terrorist Suleimani into a wonderful guy, only because I did what should have been done for 20 years. Anything I do, whether it's the economy, military, or anything else, will be scorned by the radical left, do-nothing Democrats. And then he goes on and says, wow, the wonderful Iranian protesters refused to step on or in any way denigrate our great American flag. It was put on the street in order for them to trample it, and they walked around it instead. Big progress. And then up here he says, why should I have the stigma of impeachment attached to my name when I did nothing wrong? Read the transcripts. A totally partisan hoax. Never happened before. House Republicans voted 195-0 with 3 Dems voting with the Republicans. Very unfair to tens of millions of voters like me. Anyway, 95% approval rating in the Republican Party. A record. 53% approval rating overall. Can we add 7 to 10% because of the Trump thing? Thank you. And many believe that by the Senate giving credence to a trial based on the no evidence, no crime, read the transcripts, no pressure impeachment hoax, rather than an outright dismissal, it gives the partisan Democrat witch hunt credibility that it otherwise does not have. I agree. Okay, and so some are taking that one as meaning that he doesn't want a Senate trial and he'd be fine with it. However, folks, right now, I don't think we have the votes. I think Susan Collins and probably Lisa Murkowski are not going to vote for it, and there might be one other. I mean, we have to have 51, and we have 53 senators, so, I doubt if any of the Democrats are going to switch over on that. So it does look like there will be a trial, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because there's a lot of information. Only one side of everything has come out at this point. Anyway, let's go on. The fake news media and their Democrat partners are working hard to determine whether or not the future attack by terrorist Suleimani was imminent or not. And was my team in agreement? The answer to both is a strong yes, but it doesn't really matter because of his horrible past. Yeah, the guy deserved to be killed. He really did. He needed to be taken out for everyone's safety, not just ours. But the Iranian people genuinely were happy that he was taken out. And when you saw all the crowds and everything for his funeral, that was not the Iranian people in general. Those were government employees. And what they did was they stopped the entire government and emptied all the government buildings of the employees and made them go out there for that. So that's why it looked so crowded and like there were so many people. Yeah, it really wasn't. It was all faked. Then maybe they got some connection like with CNN or something. I don't know. Really big breaking news. Kidding. I like this one. Booker, who was in 0 polling territory, just dropped out of the Democrat presidential primary race. Now I can rest easy tonight. I was so concerned that I would someday have to go head to head with him. That was one of the first ones I read today, and it just made me laugh. I love this guy. I love his sense of humor because obviously he put kidding in here so people would understand. But, I get him. I really do get his sense of humor, and that's why I found it so delightful when I read that one. That was hysterical. So then he goes on. I told you he was on a roll today. He was doing quite a few. We demand fairness, shouts Pelosi and the do-nothing Democrats. Yet the Dems in the House wouldn't let us have one witness, no lawyers, or even ask questions. It was the most unfair witch hunt in the history of Congress. And then Kevin McCarthy, I'm introducing a resolution in support of the protesters in Iran. The world is watching, and the people of Iran need to know that they are not alone in this pivotal moment. And that was retweeted also by Trump. And then, of course, he had to do this one, Attorney General Barr on Suleimani. Frankly, I don't think it was a close call. The president clearly had the authority to act as he did on numerous different bases. So not a problem with that. And Trump retweeted on that. And then, I stand stronger than anyone protecting your health care with pre-existing conditions. I am honored to have terminated the very unfair, costly, and unpopular individual mandate for you. And then he thank you to Rick Scott. The impeachment hoax is an outrage. And this was a little interview with him. And then I want to show you these because Trump went to the football game. Okay. Now, I'm not a real big football fan, but I did grow up in a household that liked football. So I know, enough about it to get myself in trouble sometimes, I think. And so this is from Yahoo Sports. Now, I don't want to get copyright strikes for playing some of these, but I'll play just the very moment when Trump walked in on this one. So here you go on that.
DC units from Louisiana State University and Clemson University, joined by the President of the United States and the First Lady.
Now, it wasn't totally clear that those were all cheers. Maybe if you didn't want to hear cheers, you would have heard boos. But when you get to this one was obviously cheers. Okay? So here's what this one sounded like.
Joined by the President of the United States and the First Lady.
Yeah, pretty obvious, wasn't it? And, the interesting thing is when you go in here and let me switch over. I've got it on a different tab. When you go in here and you look at it, and sorry, I had to get rid of that little thing. If you go down here, you can see what an awesome moment. And that's President Trump. I mean, sounded like 60% boos on television, but it wasn't. It was cheers. All of them were cheers. You must have been watching the CNN telecast. It was so nice. It was so nice to hear those cheers. And, that's what our president deserves. And so, of course, you have some that disagree. And what do you expect from the hillbillies? Yeah. And this one, this was really nice. Most of them are positive. This one's negative again. And it's like, yeah. Oh, no, not that one. There was another one where they had a toothless guy, and that's what they said. So it's Louisiana, so that dismisses it. It's crazy. I mean, how insulting. So it was interesting reading through those and seeing what they had to say, the different posts that they made about it. For the most part, people were really thrilled about it and were saying, yay, because that's what he deserves. I mean, he deserves that kind of cheers and everything. I'm sorry that I had to do it a little bit just to get rid of that. But yeah, I thought this one was really good. But one that you really need to watch, and I'm not going to play it because it's 5 minutes and 23 seconds, and it does include music, and I'm sure I would get a copyright strike on that, even though it's a Star Spangled Banner, but I'm sure she would, the lady that sang it, which I don't remember what her, Lauren Daigle, I guess it was. So, yeah, she would probably claim it or something. I don't know. But I'll leave the link down below and you can watch this full one. This is 5 minutes, 23 seconds. Well worth watching. Oh my goodness, this was so good. Kind of brings tears to your eyes when they start chanting USA, USA. I mean, it was really wonderful. And there's no mistaking. That's what the people were doing. They were cheering our president. And it does my heart good to see people giving him the honor he's due because he has done so much for us. And this was a very interesting thing because this Twitter account said my daughter keeps her TV on closed caption. And this is what showed just prior to the Star Spangled Banner. Wow. Look at this. President of the United States and the First Lady, and look at that letter right there. Yep. Now, I don't know. Who knows what it was, but it just seems to be kind of nice. Maybe there are patriots who work in the media. We hope. So that was really kind of neat. And then there's this one. I can show it to you, but I can't play the music. So, yep, we are building the wall. There it is. This is what it was before. How easy would that be to get over? And this is what they're going to have to get over now. Quite different. Yep, we are building the wall. Yay. That's from the White House Twitter feed. And then those of you who follow the 17th letter of the alphabet, you might want to know. That can be sometimes annoying having that on there, but making good headway on Project Odin. So I don't know what Project Odin is. I think it's something that has to do with like security and a secure way of having the boards or something. I don't know. But anyway, so they are moving forward on it. They're getting close to having that done. Aiming to officially announce with details and a setup guide sometime this week. So, should be interesting on that. And then I wanted to show you this. Now, I think, I've done so many videos that I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure I did a video on this lady when she was arrested back in 2018. And she was a former top Treasury Department official, pleaded guilty Monday. This is just this Monday, as in the day that I'm recording this, to conspiracy for leaking confidential banking reports associated with members of the Trump campaign following her dramatic arrest in October 2018 as she toted a flash drive full of sensitive documents. So I think I did a video that had her in it, Natalie Edwards, but I don't remember exactly. There's been over 500 videos. So like 520 some or something, 500 I don't know. Anyway, lots. And then just to end it, this is the last one I have. I just wanted to give you something to kind of smile at. This Breitbart article. This guy, Kansas man, requests trial by combat in Iowa court to settle custody dispute. Yes, seriously. He's requested that an Iowa court grant his motion for a trial by combat to settle a custody dispute with his ex-wife and her attorney on the battlefield. David Ostrom, 40, of Paola, Kansas, has cited in court documents that his ex-wife, Bridget Ostrom, 38, of Harlan, Iowa, has destroyed him legally. The Des Moines Register reported Monday. The Carroll Times-Herald reported that Ostrom filed a request with the Iowa District Court in Shelby County to give him 12 weeks to source or forge Japanese swords used in battle. To this day, trial by combat has never been explicitly banned or restricted as a right in these United States. Ostrom argues in court records, adding that it was used as recently as 1818 in British court. Ostrom told the Register that he got the idea for the duel after he learned about a 2016 New York Supreme Court case in which New York Supreme Court Justice Philip Minardo said that duels had not been abolished under state law. Ostrom said the motion began when he became frustrated with his ex-wife's attorney, Matthew Hudson, saying he wanted to take the fight to the field of battle where he will rend their souls from their corporal bodies. Okay, Hudson filed a resistance to Ostrom's trial by combat motion by doing a little spelling check. Corporal bodies. Okay, surely Ostrom meant corporeal bodies, which Merriam-Webster defines as having consisting of or relating to a physical material body, the attorney wrote. Although Ostrom and potential combatants do have souls to be rended, they respectfully request that the court not order this done. Hudson argued that a duel could end in one or both parties dying, which could outweigh custody and property tax issues. You think? It should be noted that just because the U.S. and Iowa constitutions do not specifically prohibit battling another person with a deadly katana sword, it does prohibit a court sitting in equity from ordering same, Hudson wrote. Oh, so anyway, That's it. And then they tried to say the Iowa attorney also asked that the court take away Ostrom's visitation rights and make him undergo court-ordered psychotherapy. Ostrom later admitted to misspelling the word, but argued that he did not have any mental health issues. The court has not made a decision on either party's motions. So, in modern times, the right to trial by combat has been struck down in other courts around the world. In a 2003 case in the United Kingdom, a court ruled against a man who wished to invoke a trial by combat to settle a £25 fine for a minor motor vehicle offense, the Telegraph reported. So, I just thought that was kind of a fun one to end on. There you go. Trial by sword. Trial by combat. Anyway, that's what I've got for you on this one. I want to thank you for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later.